Hey, everybody, welcome back to our continuing series where we take a look at the music from the 1980s. Today we're doing 1983. We're going to give our top 25 songs. We actually made 50, but we're going to show you 25 ranked songs from the year 1983. We've got a point system in place, and we will look at the consensus at the end to see what song came out on top. I'm here with Brian, Massey's Main Entertainment, also known as the end of the world as we know it. We've got Randy Nelson and Doc. Another good year, I think. Different than each one's a little bit different because new artists come into play. Slight changes in what's hip and what's not, and what was played on MTV all the time, and some artists that are sort of fading into oblivion. So let's kick it off. Tonight's order is going to be Brian, Randy, Doc, and myself. We will pick up Brian's list. Let me just go.
Here we go, Brian. A lot of pressure, buddy.
The pressure is definitely mounting as we speak.
There we go.
And
Rope a dopus. He's going in.
On the dopidus.
I'll pull this up in a second. Just give me a time. But anyway, all right, here we go. Brian, take it away, and let's do your 25 through 1.
All right. Well, I love the 80s. I mean, because then I was just kind of starting to listen to my music that I wanted to listen to and not necessarily my family. I got Let's Dance by David Bowie. He was a little, obviously a lot of his material in the 80s is going to be a little bit more accessible to the everyday person. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Cyndi Lauper, she had a huge album this year. MTV certainly helped her with music videos, really getting her out in the forefront. I've got The Art of Noise here, which is kind of a interesting experimental sound band that kind of crossed over into the hip hop world a little bit too with a few of their songs, but Close to the Exit was one of their big tunes. Karma Chameleon, Culture Club, Boy George for all of his interesting wardrobes. Still, I like the albums that he put out. I always thought he was very entertaining. I got Owner of a Lonely Heart from Yes here. Again, another band from the 70s that maybe wasn't big commercially with the everyday Joe, but then this song came out and that kind of put them even in everyday teenagers' living rooms. So Stand Back, Stevie Nicks. Now you're getting a lot of solo stuff coming from the Fleetwood Mac people who are kind of branching out on their own. Mental Health, Bang Your Head, Quiet Riot. I've got this album. I think this is one of those ones when people say, hey, do you have a song that kind of personifies, the early 80s when it comes to rock music? I always mention guys like Def Leppard and Quiet Riot, I think are quintessential. 99 Luft Balloons. I think we all had an agreement that if we were going to put this on our list, that we were going to have the German version, not the regular Red Balloons one that they made with, using the English language, which just does not measure up very well. Sister Christian from Night Ranger. I saw these guys in concert. I actually caught a drumstick from Kelly Kaga at the end of it when he actually threw it out into the crowd, but I gave it away to my first fiance, and I'd probably never see that thing again. White Lines by Grandmaster Melly Mel. Kind of worked with the Furious Five on that one. Song about drug use and cocaine, but it's an early rap tune that I really enjoyed. Pink Houses by John Mellencamp. Mellencamp's going to be one of those artists that seem to have a domination during the mid 80s there. Burning Down the House by Talking Heads. Starting again, David Byrne's odd style, I think, was kind of helped by the MTV push. So the more obscure you were, the more fun you were. It seemed like they kind of pushed those types of things. They really were going for that aesthetic. Photograph, Def Leppard. I'm sure Doc loves at least a choice of this nature. 13, Every Breath You Take by The Police. This, Synchronicity is just such a massive album from this year that, it's just, you're going to get a lot of tunes from this. I imagine a lot of us are going to have songs from this album. And then I've got Time After Time from Cyndi Lauper here, just not making the top 10. I think it's a really nice, easy, chill tune that I kind of enjoy. So on to the top 10.
Top 10. Let's see what we got.
All right, Mama from Genesis here, from their self-titled album. I really like this tune. It really not one of those tunes that maybe gets radio airplay because the time signature is really different. The instrumentation is vastly different than the normal songs were during that time. But I think this song is incredible. Radio Free Europe from REM. They released Murmur this year. I think it was, I'm not sure whether it was Rolling Stones or Billboard. I'd have to look it up. I had this album, Murmur, as the best album of the year and not Thriller when they were pushed up against each other. I thought that was just this weirdest thing in the world when you reflect back on it years later. Rocket, Herbie Hancock, jazz musician who kind of experimented with some hip hop music and synth music and created a whole different type of album for himself with Future Shock, I believe was the name of the album. Every Day I Write the Book from Elvis Costello. Big fan of Elvis here. And I remember this music video and this song. I think it's really interesting because he uses the lyrics are always kind of like allusions to literary effects when you're writing and stuff like that. So, it talks about chapter 1 and chapter 2 and those types of things. So the writing style on this one's really interesting. I've got Rock of Ages at number 6, another Def Leppard tune here, which I would consider like their quintessential song. If you're introducing somebody to Def Leppard, probably start here. Modern Love, David Bowie. Again, like I said, Bowie just became a little bit more accessible to people. And Modern Love is maybe perhaps my favorite song by Bowie. It may very well be. Perfect Circle, REM. I think it's relatively unknown to most people, but it is probably the best song on that album and probably my top 5 REM songs of all time. Just a really great tune. The Authority song by John Mellencamp. This is my favorite John Mellencamp song, so I had to have it here. Overkill by Men at Work. Cargo is a little bit underrated, especially going up against Business as Usual, which was a massive album hit. But I think Cargo was just as strong. And this song, Colin Hay actually performs acoustic versions of this on some of his solo albums, and it's just absolutely incredible. I had a whole new respect for the song. But my number one song, it's The Police from Synchronicity, King of Pain. Just an absolute great tune that kind of has it has these weird metaphoric allusions to things that are, going away or withering or dying, and kind of all drawing parallels to each other. I just think it's an incredibly written tune, maybe his strongest writing, I would think, especially with The Police. I would have King of Pain for sure. So
yeah, I love those metaphors. That's a killer song.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like the list, Brian. Like the list, buddy.
Thank you.
Fantastic. You had to get those 2 REMs in the top 10. That's nice. I love your respect for Mellencamp because I always feel like I'm the only one that likes him, but nice to see that. So let's go to Randy, and we'll pull his up next without giving away his list. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, there it is. All right, Randy.
You're going to have a very Randy list, I think, here. Number 25, I got Long White Cadillac by the Blasters, this roots rock classic about Hank Williams, and he passed away in the Cadillac. 24, I got She Loves the Jerk, which is kind of John Hyatt's Is She Really Going Out With Him song.
Oh.
Although his wasn't a hit like Joe Jackson's was. 23, I got Tear Stained Letter, Richard Thompson, just a great fast-paced tune, and he actually is probably my favorite guitarist. Richard Thompson is.
Oh.
And then 22, I've got Chain of Love. Feargal Sharkey, he was the lead singer of the Undertones, and I got that there. And then I have Karma Chameleon after that, because if you go listen to Chain of Love, you'll go, oh, Karma Chameleon kind of stole a little bit from that, because that was recorded earlier than the Culture Club song. Released early as well, but I think I do like Karma Chameleon even a little bit more, even though they kind of stole a little. 20, I got Uncertain Smile by the great piano on that. Of course, that's Glenn Calloway's favorite name for a group.
Nice.
I've got the Authority song here at 19. Then I got 18. I got Uptown Girl. I'm a big fan of doo-wop, and this is kind of Billy Joel's homage to the 50s music scene. And 17, I got Take Me Away, Blue Oyster Cult, just a great rock classic. It reminds me of some of their older songs that this one doesn't get as much play. Actually written by, the music part was actually written by Aldo Novo. 16, Wonderful Remark, just a fantastic tune. And Rich reminded me that I didn't have this, and I had to put it on here. It was on the King of Comedy soundtrack, and there's some great music on that soundtrack. And let's see where I am now. 15, State of Confusion, The Kinks. This actually has one of my favorite MTV videos. If you can go
Oh,
watch
really?
that. It's really great. And I have the Stalker Classic at 14 on my list. And then 13, I've got Sweetheart Like You. Anybody that can quote Samuel Johnston's, what is it? God, I can't even think of the name. Think of it now. But anyway, he quotes Samuel Johnston in in that song. And I just lost my mind here. I couldn't remember that. But anyway, it's just a great ballad by Bob Dylan. 12 is Everybody Gotta Know, Joan Armatrading. I think this is one of her most compelling ballads. And then 11, In a Big Country, just a big anthem with these bagpipe-like sounds that were made, I guess, on a synthesizer. I don't know how they got that. I know it's actually bagpipes, but it made that kind of sound.
Top 10.
Wow, here we go.
Let's get it on. Boom.
I've got Every Day I Write the Book here at 10, probably his
Nice.
most accessible song. Number 9, I got Life Gets Better, Graham Parker. We talked about how Temporary Beauty should have been a hit. Well, I think this one even more so. It's just a fantastic tune. And number 8, Sharp Dressed Man. ZZ Top kind of became unlikely MTV stars with their videos on these, and this is maybe the highlight of that album, I think. And let's see, where am I? 7, Each Word's a Beat of My Heart. Of course, if there's a great Mink DeVille ballad, it's going to make my list. This is kind of a little bit more mid-tempo, but he's got those vocals. 6, In the Neighborhood, Tom Waits. Great example of Waits' storytelling, where he talks about all the individuals in the community. That's just a really cool song. 5, Drop the Pilot, which one of Joan's most energetic tunes. It's so catchy, probably her best known song, I think. And got MTV airplay as well. Number 4, I've got Modern Love Here, which is, I guess, Brian's favorite of David Bowie song. But I got it one spot higher. I don't know why there. Number 3, I got Pride and Joy, Stevie Ray Vaughan, one of those great blues shuffles, and of course, masterful guitar playing by Stevie Ray Vaughan. Number 2, I got Joker Man, Bob Dylan. Actually did reviews for a local publication for a couple of years, and this is the only album I gave 5 stars was Infidels, and then this is the highlight for that album, I think. And number 1, I got New Year's Day, U2, just these fierce and passionate vocals from Bono, and then this great bass line by Adam Clayton, written about Polish solidarity.
Very cool.
Love it.
Very good.
It's interesting in that I go, yeah, when Randy and I hit, we hit. But when we miss completely.
We missed by a mile.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. I mean, he's always going to have the Mink DeVilles, Graham Parkers, and Richard Thompson, those kind of guys. And at the same time, we got Bob Dylan, U2, right. David Bowie, ZZ Top, Elvis Costello, some stuff that's fantastic as well. So it's Randy knows a lot of more music than I do, so I have to respect some of those obscure artists that I've never really delved into. So
right,
that's just the way it is. Let's get into Doc's list as we go down. Boom, boom. There we go. It's always a challenge to get there. There we go. All right, boom.
I guess I should preface this by going, just saying right now, you're not the only one who likes John Cougar there. I'll tell you that. There.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good.
We'll get that out of the way. And yes, it's I guess I would speak more to Brian's side of things. Definitely a product of my age and everything else that you grab onto at this time of your life when you start listening to music and really getting into it on your own. So there you go. Yeah, was a big album in my life at this time too. So Play Guitar, one of my favorite Mellencamp tunes, man. That's gonna be my number 25. I think this is my favorite Mellencamp album. Is my favorite. So teach his own, but this one's got a lot of hits for me. And I think I got 4 or 5 songs on my top 50. So
Yep.
Never Surrender at 24 from Triumph. Went and saw this tour. A great time in my life, man. What a great show, and they're a great rock band, and I know they're Canadian and they have a lot of different things, but really talented, man. Really talented dudes, man, especially on guitar and drums. Gilmore and Rick Emmett can really play. I got Owner of a Lonely Heart, the MTV staple, I guess, or one of the heavy hitters from this album, 90125. I love this album. And it shows on my list, and Owner squeezed into my top 25, but the other ones didn't have a problem. So Violet Flames, man, I think this talks to exactly what it is, man. This is a 1983 song, man. Blister in the Sun to me. This is the rebellious side of whatever it was, and the great lyrics and whatever they actually mean and stuff like that. But that's different. But just a catchy, almost grungiest, almost punkish kind of sound, but in a rock vibe, almost. I like my Floyd, man. The Final Cut. This is the title track off this album, the last album that Floyd did together with all the original members, we'll say. Maybe minus Wright there, but that's a different story. But Waters and Gilmore are still here, and I know there's a debate on everything else about what this album is. I don't want to go deep dive on it. I love the song. I'll leave it at that. You'll find out why as I'm through my list, but I'm not going to apologize for these things. So, number 20, Sunday Bloody Sunday. This is when U2 starts to move a little and move the needle a little for me as we move along in life. So, yeah, it's going to top in my where it lands. To have a U2 song in my top 20 or 25 is not a problem. More than one, well, we'll see how it goes. I've always liked this tune, man, from Milton. I guess that's why they call it the blues, because it kind of showed that brought me back to something that I listened to in the 70s, I feel, from Milton at this time. And I think that's why I like the song. I still like the song. You had a couple that cling on to me from that time on, but let's face it, 70s Elton is one thing, maybe the Elton 80s on kind of thing. You cherry pick on maybe some songs that really bring a little closer to you. This is one of them for me. You guys touched on the Police. I think Synchronicity is just the album that I think as an album, if you were to look at the whole thing, it's a fantastic album. But the fantastic album is like right in the middle. Those 4 or 5 tracks right in the middle of that album, man, are just smoking. And the rest of it is an okay album, but those 4 or 5 tracks in the middle are just incredible. So, yeah, Wrapped Around Your Finger, they were pumping out some good stuff when they did this part, man. They were doing it right. I think I Burning Down the House, Talking Heads. I think, Brian, you had this on your list, and it's one of those tunes you get in your head, man. You just start singing it. There you go. It's in your head for tomorrow. So you're welcome, everybody. There's Hold On from Yes. Back to that album, man. What can I tell you? Love the guitar. I know it's not classic, yes, but it is to me. So that's what I grew up with, man, especially at this time. I'm a 14-year-old, 13-year-old kid here listening to this stuff. So this is great. Time After Time, Cyndi Lauper. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not the biggest hit, because I don't put on the biggest hit in my top 50 songs, but this song is just a beautifully written song. It's a beautiful song, if you want the truth. Time After Time is a great song, man. There's King of Pain, the Police pumping it again. Don't want to harp on it too much. Brian's your number 1, and it's on my list for a reason too, man. I got Give Me All Your Love in there from ZZ. There's a few you could take off of this one, I think, Randy, and it's the king of MTV at the time, man. This one, the first one that came out with the video. So there's the car pulling up, the chick's coming out, man. Give Me All Your Love. This is what I remember. So, and it's it has some good catchy riffs in here, man, on this whole album. So there's a few that I think make my list in the top 50 anyway. Every Breath You Take. There's that one again. So I guess we're all thinking about what it could be and stuff like that, stalker-wise, but whatever. Another classic from the Police on this album. There's Pink Houses, man. Told you I like that Mellencamp, man. What can I tell you? So that's quintessential Mellencamp, if you ask me, right there. So just missed my top 10, man. It was a dodgy miss, but it's there.
Let's see what made the top 10.
Probably my favorite Mellencamp tune. So there you go again, man. Back to back. I got Serious Business.
Nice.
I just love the rocking side of this song. I know you guys have the Authority and stuff like that. I just find this is more in the rockier, heavier side of the Mellencamp life, and this is what I like. So, Sister Christian, Night Ranger, as far as I know, that's the only song I know, man. I never did dive on Night Ranger and everything else. This song's fantastic, man. That's what I can tell you. It's a great song. Has everything you want, especially in the air. It's produced really well for whatever it is, and this is 80s productions, man. So it starts to move a little. Some things can be polished. This is polished but good, is what I would put it at. Modern Love, Bowie. Yeah, it's the accessible Bowie is. I think Brian or Randy, you both might have said it, and it's bang on. This is when Bowie became accessible to a different generation, and maybe if you weren't a Bowie fan in the 70s, you became one in the 80s because of something like this. It can happen. Yes, told you I like that album, man. And this is my favorite song off this album. And it's a top fiver for me from Yes, man. So this is what I can tell you. So everyone's got their own. There's Plant making an appearance again, man. In the Mood. Love this tune. It's got the complete Zeppelin feel from Zepp, and it's Plant doing it, man. What can I tell you? This is right my sweet spot for that 70s vibe for the 80s time. I'll take it and run with it, man. Synchronicity too, man. That's my hitter for the album. So you floated what you got, but like I told you, man, they're heavy hitters on here. Yes, and Police are making their appearances for sure. So is Def Leppard. My favorite off of this one is Photograph there. Rock just missed the 25 there. I think it's number 26 if you want the truth or something like that for me, Brian. But Photograph is the one that was catchy to me at the time. It's still catchy to me now, man. It's not to be globin, but hey, what can you do? So Let's Dance, Bowie. Can I tell you, man? I think we touched on it before. It's that 70s vibe from Bowie. And that's the 70s sounding vibe for me that I like. And that's what he's got here in this tune. And I like it more and more as I go on, man. It's fantastic. The dark, seedy Genesis singing Mama, man, which is just creepy as hell almost in one sense, but fantastic at the same time. Love it. What a vibe to that tune, man. And my number one, told you I'm not going to be apologetic for what I like, so I'm not going to be apologetic. So you can say what you want in the comments, but I love this song. Leave everything else outside.
Yeah.
This tune's incredible. What a vibe, what a sense. It really plays on the senses, this song, and you're floating down through the clouds is the way it starts, and you feel like you are, and Floyd takes you on a ride, man. If Floyd does that, it's easily my number one for the year.
Good one.
Cool.
Yep. What surprised me more than anything is the love of Yes, that particular album, which is a good album, but
yeah,
you were all over it, and that's great. I love to see the Mellencamp and Bowie and the Police, Genesis. Great year. Really
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me about the Pink Floyd choice, Doc. It doesn't.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just like Final Cut. I guess I still feel like it's not Pink Floyd unless they were both together and getting along. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I like Final Cut, but it doesn't feel quite like Pink Floyd. Just like Momentary Lapse of Reason didn't feel quite like it. It was a good album, but not quite like it. You know what I mean? It's just weird.
Well, I get the sentiment on how I can pull people away from it. I'm in this camp. I'm in that camp. I'm in the music camp, man. That's what I want to hear. So that's the camp I'm in.
Yep.
That's what it's all about. And let me
Yeah.
scoot over. Boom, boom, boom.
Cool.
All right. I went with my 25. I went with China Girl by Bowie. There's something about this song I like. Hey, I like the rhythm of it and little geisha action. It's cool. Now, went with Pat Benatar, 24, Love is a Battlefield. That's a little anthem for the women out there. It's a good song. Eurythmics made the cut at 23. Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. Annie Lennox and her hubby. I put She's a Beauty at 22 by the Tubes. Good little 80s tune, pop song. And I'm with Doc on Elton John. I guess why they call it the blues. Definitely sounds like Elton in the 70s. No question about it. and it's going to make my list. Elton in the 80s was almost a complete misfire, other than Empty Garden, maybe this song and maybe one other. But when I think of Elton, I think of the 70s. Burning Down the House. I even had the Talking Heads, a little art rock, David Byrne and the gang. Put that at 20. I have Yes here at Owner of a Lonely Heart at 19. Solid album. I like some of those other songs Stock had, but this is probably my favorite one on the album, the obvious one. Synchronicity 2, that really rocks. That's my Police contribution here. Some of the other songs may be above it. I got 3 straight Genesis songs off that self-titled album here, 17, 16, and 15. It's Gonna Get Better, which is the closer, Taking It All Too Hard, which I like, and also That's All, really upbeat, poppy kind of song. Bryan Adams, This Time, Everything Is All Right. I like that song off of this album, off the Cuts Like a Knife album. That's at 14. 13, State of Confusion by the Kinks. Got to have that on my list. Fantastic song. Come Dancing by the Kinks is at 12. My favorite off that album. Talking about his sister and going to the ballroom to dance and waiting up for her to come home. A definite personal story. Ray Davies here. 19, I've got Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top. No doubt. That's, with the stick pin and all the dressed cufflinks and all that stuff. I love that song. Modern Love is my number 10. I think it made everybody's top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did, I think.
Made all top 10s. Just a fantastic Bowie tune. Probably my favorite of his of the 80s. I got some ones in the 70s that I lean on a little heavier. Time After Time, Cyndi Lauper. It's the best song she's ever been a part of for me.
Mm-hmm.
Crumbling Down, John Mellencamp. I just like the walls come crumbling down. He's really energetic, and his vocals are outstanding on that song. Authority song, I Fight Authority. Authority always wins. I love the sentiment. Pink Houses. You can see I'm all over these hits from Mellencamp in 1983.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the lyricism in here is first rate from Pink Houses. One of the better songs. I think he even admits it may be the best song he's ever written. Every Breath You Take is a monster hit at number 5 from the Police. A lot of people complain about Sting's vocals. I think he's effective in these songs. I like them. King of Pain is my favorite song off the album. That's at number 4. Like Brian said, those metaphors about the bird stuck in a fossil or something. Really, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
The sparrow. I forget the actual bird that he's talking about, but it works in the lyrics. Number 3 is Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan. This is a great, great song with his band Double Trouble, the trio there. I saw them on the was it Soundstage or one of the Austin City Limits concert, and he's sweating all over the place. Just an energetic performer at the time, a great guitarist that died way too soon. Number 2, Sunday Bloody Sunday by U2. Political song, Bono, great lyricist, the band, one of their early great hits. And number 1 is New Year's Day. I agree with Randy. It's my favorite U2 song off that album, but barely. They ran 1-2 for me. I had a hard time choosing between them. As you can see, when I like an artist, I usually bunch them up because you can flip a coin on which one is preferred. So that would be my list for 83.
I think all lists, one way or the other, sound like 83.
Yeah. I think Mellencamp got a lot of love on this video.
Yep.
Well, we'll find out when Chris Stobart does the stats, I guess, and see how much because we always look forward to that, Chris. So thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah, definitely. Those are cool stats.
Yeah, always look forward to that. So let's
take
a little
job either, Chris. When you drop it in there saying they overlooked, the critically missed and stuff like that. But
yeah, don't be afraid.
That's good.
Don't be afraid to lower the boom on us too. We love that shit.
No.
Yeah.
Constructive criticism. Get into this. Modern Love takes it by a point over King of Pain. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was close. We needed another point out of Randy to get King of Pain in there. Anyway, New Year's Day had 2 number 1s and did not get one or two. It finished third. We have the usual MTV staples, Every Breath You Take and Time After Time. They were both worthy. Pride of Joy makes number 6. Authority Song, Sharp Dressed Man, all the way. There's Photograph. What are some songs that we didn't mention? There's Rock of Ages down here. Overkill. Nice. I had Overkill, Brian, but I had it at 47. That's a nicely written song. I like the lyrics on that too. Synchronicity. In the Mood. 3 of us had it.
Oh,
Doc,
right.
Brian. Yep. Sister Christian had 2 votes. State of Confusion had 2. There's the Gunner's Dream. He was on the Doc. You're on the island with a 1.
I'm on the island, man. I got us 10 points, man.
99 Luft Balloons had 3 tunes, a 30, an 18, and a 38. There's China Girl. That also had 3. Joker Man by Dylan only had the 2 by Randy. Choose a Beauty had some consideration, 22, 50, and 39. Mental Health, Doc and Brian. Rebel Yell by Billy Idol in there. There's Legs, the other ZZ Top song that nobody had it in their top 25, but Doc and I had it somewhere.
Yep.
There's the Clapton song, I've Got a Rock and Roll Heart. I had that as well as Randy somewhere. Bonnie Tyler, the old scratchy-throated legend that she is. Total Eclipse of the Heart. Eyes Without a Face. Huey Lewis and the News. They had that album Sports come out in 83, but it didn't get a lot of love in our at the top of the list, but it did have quite a few songs getting named here. Heart of Rock and Roll was one of them. And what else is in here? Big Log and the other Plant song got a couple of notices. Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Relax, get to it. Da, 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 da. There's I Love LA from Randy Newman. I even had that on my list, Randy.
Yeah, forgot about that. It's good too.
Yep.
I love LA.
We love it.
That's right. There's Uptown Girl. I didn't pick one song from the Billy Joel album, believe it or not.
Oh, neither did I.
And I love Billy Joel, but this album it's not an all-time favorite, although it's catchy as hell and it's got some popular songs. I favor some of his other albums.
I just like that 50s kind of stuff. So
It is. I know. I like some of that stuff too. She Loves the Jerk. I will go listen to that after we're done because I don't know that song. Play guitar. There's Jackson Brown, my token Jackson Brown song, The Tender is the Night. There's Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell. Brian had that one.
Somebody's watching me.
The Fix, One Thing Leads to Another.
I saw them in concert.
Did you?
Yeah, I saw the Fix. Yeah, I actually had backstage passes to that one. Yeah.
There's Run DMC. Guess who? Brian.
Me.
Yep. Separate Ways by Journey. Doc had that one at 36.
Definitely a Doc one. I can't believe you guys didn't have Walking on a Thin Line. That's actually a pretty good written song by Huey.
But I did have, I think, 2 or 3 other Huey.
There's Fool and another Def Leppard song Doc had. Good job.
Yeah.
And that's about Walking on a Thin Line's about a Vietnam vet returning home.
Right there too.
Heart and Soul off of Sports. Undercover of the Night. Doc had that off the Stones album. The Smiths made an appearance with This Charming Man. I had She Was Hot.
Oh, yeah.
At 43. Innocent Man. Randy had that off Billy Joel's album. Naked Eyes, always something there to remind me. Doc had another Floyd with The Post-War Dream. My Love's in Jeopardy, Greg Kinban. Brian had it. There's more ZZ, Got Me Under Pressure. Another John Hyatt song, I Don't Even Try. Elton, I'm Still Standing. That's a good song. I didn't have it, but it was a good one.
I don't know if you've heard the When You Were Mine, Mitch Ryder. It's a Prince cover, but Kitten Navidad in the video.
Oh, I know Kitten. She's a porn star, right?
Yeah. Doc, you didn't have Holy Diver, man?
No, he didn't.
No, I had Rainbow.
I had Paul Simon, the late great Johnny Ace. Big Country Chants, Tears for Fear, Mad World, Mr. Roboto.
Brian I had to do it.
I do not blame that, man. It was a tough call not to have it on my list, man.
And last on the list was Spandau Ballet. Is true. I know.
Ballet by Doc. Good job,
Yeah,
Doc.
man, I'm there. I'm gonna show it some love. Like number 50.
It's a romantic.
Just the way it is, guys. You know how it is.
Awesome, John. All right, so that'll wrap up. Anyway, we're
Right.
going to take a couple weeks off. Come back with 1984 when the dust settles. In the meantime, look for maybe a random video in between with Brian, Doc, and myself while Randy's traveling the world, and we'll see what we can come up with. It may be music related, it may be movie related. We don't know, but we hope you'll watch. Subscribe to Randall Nelson. Subscribe to Brian at Massey's Main Entertainment. Leave some comments on 1983, your favorite songs, ones we left out. We like to be reminded of what we screwed up on. It's always fun. And if you agree with us, we like that too. So for Doc and Brian and Randy, this is Rich. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.